Ugh, this hair. It's getting too long. I don't know what to do with it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. Welcome back to Show's Closet. Hold on. Let me see how this going to work because I got to flip it. Well, no, I'm going to leave it because it probably stopped working. Welcome. Welcome back to Show's Closet. While you are here, sorry, this bothers me when it's not right. While you are here, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. You see the little red button right? I'm doing it right down there. Go ahead and hit that. Make sure you give this a thumbs up. Tonight we are talking about healing emotions, because emotions make you cry sometimes, baby. Um, oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I got some spicy chicken and some mac and cheese. That's what I'm eating on tonight. But I came to talk to y'all about healing. Yesterday was my birthday. Let me start this by saying thank you to everyone who came over last night to help me celebrate my birthday with Saturday Night Vibes. As you know, I did 4 songs. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I did 4 songs. It's only gonna get better. We only gonna get better. That's all. That's all we can do is get better. I'm super excited about today's conversation, mainly because it's the last Sunday of June. One of the greatest months ever. Hey, Tamika. One of the greatest months ever. It's the last Sunday. And I have designated June as a pure healing month for me. As you may know, I've been on a journey of healing and self-discovery. If you don't know, I'm on a journey of healing and self-discovery. I've learned so much about myself in the last 10 months than I think I have learned my entire life. I want to say that, and I'm 41 right now. But it has been a tremendously great experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. I'm happy to be here. Last Sunday, I talked about mental health. This Sunday, I'm talking about emotions, right? Because one thing that we do not do as a human race is allow ourselves to feel. We, if we're in a relationship and we break up, we immediately, some of us already have something to move on to while that one is already ended. Some of us immediately we already into something else because we don't want to feel lonely, we don't want to feel rejection, we don't want to feel all of the things that come with the ending of something. We don't want to feel that. Grief. There's so many different emotions that I think it's important for us to allow ourselves to have. But I feel like a lot of us not dealing with our emotions comes from the way we were raised. If you ever paid attention to anything that I'm talking about, you notice that it all stems from how you were raised, like your parents, like your environment in which you grew up in. Like, I should have gave this disclaimer at the beginning. The views and opinions that are expressed in this live are minds and minds alone. If you have an opposing view, if you agree, whatever you feel like you want to comment, go ahead and comment it. Hello, Jennifer. Go ahead and comment it in the chat. I personally feel like a lot of the things that we know, a lot of the things that we understand as humans, as adults, teenagers, whatever you are watching, I feel like a lot of that comes from our upbringing. Like, for example, if you are a African American male or you are a male of color, you understand when someone says don't cry, or I have to beat them up to toughen them up to make them a man, to do all of, you understand when I say like emotions are things, that's something that is missing. Like, people do not allow themselves to cry. Like, it's like an embarrassment, or it's like a sign of weakness if you cry. No, crying is releasing, it's letting go, it's cleansing yourself of the thing that hurt you, made you feel bad. It's cleansing. We don't allow ourselves to cleanse. Um, See, someone told me I should have went to school for psychology, but the mind is such a beautiful thing, especially when you like understand it. But we don't. I honestly feel like we do not allow ourselves the time, space, and opportunity to be emotional. I knew 10 months ago when I started this journey, I told everyone around me, I'm like, listen, I am going to be happy, sad, I'm going to cry, I'm going to grieve. It's definitely, listen, if 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 by chance you've ever broken up with somebody, or I'm going to say my experience, a divorce, it literally feels like death to me, like death. You probably saying you never died before. Actually, I have. It's gonna be a story time coming up in the next couple of months. I'm gonna do a story time. But it feels like a literal death to me, and I knew 10 minutes ago that I had to allow myself to feel these feelings so that I could be better. I could be better. I don't want to continue my life. I had already said 2020 global fucking pandemic. I'm not gonna continue. Um, I'm not going to continue to walk the path of carrying burdens of things that happened to me when I was younger, or teenage years, or situations that didn't work out in my 20s. I'm not going to carry that anymore. Like, okay, it happened. I process it. I deal with it. Oh, okay. I have to let that go. I have to make space for new opportunities, new things that are going to come, new relationships, new business ventures, new travel. I have to make space for that. And 40 years of living, it's a lot of stuff in there. I mean, in here and in here, it's a lot of stuff in there. So I had to rid myself. So when I say I was literally grieving, like it was literally a loss. Like my heart still flutters a little bit because it's a loss. Um, and I had some people that was just like, "Oh, get over it. She been gone for 10 months, and all you've been divorced for a whole month." And I was just like, "But you don't understand." Like my mind was like, "That was 6 years of my life. I don't understand how people could just be on to the next one." I never understood. You break up at 10 o'clock and you already got somebody new at 10:06. I never understood that because in my mind, it's like, how do you process? How do you process being in something for so long and then just move on to the next? I couldn't understand that. But I knew for myself that I had to go through that. I knew. I literally, I kid you guys not, I could call them down here right now. They will tell you. I literally told them, like, there was days, like, I knew because, I'm going to say, because I was 40, I knew that, like, stress, like my body when it comes to stress, it doesn't. Stress and my body don't work well together. See, that's when you have to pay attention to your body's emotions. You have to be able to recognize these things. I know that stress and my body don't work well together. So I knew, like, anytime like I'm really sad or angry or stressed, I am like completely immobile. Like I can't do anything. I would just lay in the bed and listen to meditative music to try to clear my head, but it doesn't work because for me, talking works for me. That's my therapy, talking. So when all this happened, I was telling people like I couldn't even process the fact of what happened. Hey, cool nerd. I couldn't process the fact of what happened because I was still processing the fact that this is ending. Like it's so many different levels that you have to process. Like I couldn't process everything at one time. Like that's not me. I'm gonna sit down and process everything at one time. I had to break it down in different sections. And like right now today, I am at the fact that we are officially divorced. Right now today, we've been divorced for a month. I told you guys, we've been divorced for a month. But right now today, I am processing the fact that her and I are no longer together. We are separated, or we are legally divorced. I'm processing that. I'm breathing that all in. The response like I get is like, it's sadness. It's complete and utter sadness. At the beginning of this, whoa, at the beginning, like I really felt like failure. Like I felt like I had completely failed. Like I tried so hard. You know, like you try and you do everything humanly possible and you still fail. And I was just like, I felt like a failure. And then it was like, let me take that off. Because let me tell you what I did. Because I sat back. I sat back and looked at the situation. And I was like, wait, I did everything that I did. I communicated everything that I wanted, needed, hoped for, desired. I communicated that. In the end of it, the decision that was made had nothing to do with me. Do you know how liberating that made me feel to say that the decision that was made had nothing to do with me? Nothing to do with me. When I said that at first, I'm not gonna jack, I cried because I was like, holy shit. Like it was like a light bulb when I was like, you know what? It didn't. It didn't have anything to do with me because had it had something to do with me, there would have been a conversation. It had nothing to do with me. So once I came to that understanding, I was just like, what the fuck am I crying for? Why am I heartbroken? Why is this bothering me so much? And I'm gonna tell you why it bothered me, because I watched the transition from what was to what is, and then to see it end the way it did, it was like, damn, I literally meant nothing. Why am I smiling right now when I said that? But 10 months ago when I said that, I was devastated. But it's about healing. It's about being able to put words to the emotion that you feel. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I literally walked through every stage of grief. I was angry, I was depressed, I was sad, I went through all of them. I allowed myself to go through all of them. Not because, when something happens to us, the first thing, like if we break up, or I'm never gonna get in a relationship. I'm never. I never said that. Now let me tell you what I did say. I'm one and done. I'm one and done. I'm not going to get married again. No, that was done. Won't do it again. Yeah, not going to do it again. But what I learned from that was that you can do everything that you know to do right. You could also do things that are wrong. You can communicate throughout the whole process, but if the other person that you are with isn't on the same page, doesn't feel the same, it'll still end. It'll still fall apart. It will still be cheating. It will still be all of those things. Because remember, it's a relationship. There's two people in this relationship. Now me, I thought, we talking about everything. We talking, we crying, we laughing, we doing all of that. But the reality of it was, somebody was being truthful and somebody wasn't. That's the reality of it. So now here I sit as a 41-year-old, grown ass woman, and I could say that I respect her decision. I respect her decision. No, I do not appreciate the way that it happened, but I respect her decision to leave without saying anything to me, because that probably would have made it even more hard. Because how the fuck you be with somebody for 6 fucking years and then wake up and just be like, oh, I'm gone, and then actually disappear, and then actually try to make it seem like so backstory. My ex-wife left me for her ex-girlfriend, who is now her current girlfriend. And I found out on social media that they were actually together, and then her and I were going to be together. And then we got a divorce, or the divorce proceedings was a lot. Anywho, presently today, I realized that I was spending a lot of my time caring about an individual who I consider the love of my life. Um, but I spent a lot of time, invested a lot of time, even after she was gone, doing whatever she was doing. Um, I was still attached. And then the what do they call it? Where she's the narrative started to be created. And so I'm sitting over here chilling, grieving, going through the process, and then I'm watching the narrative like, wait a minute. You cheated on me. You left me. Why is there a narrative being created around me? So that brought on a whole nother set of emotions. And so while I'm dealing with all of this, I just thought to myself, like, none of this is about me. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just a casualty of this war. What war, you may ask? The war of love. I did a couple of videos, a couple of Sundays ago. I think it was like May or April. I did a series about hurt people hurt people. Here's why I want to talk about emotions. Because I personally feel like if you are hurting, that does not give you permission to go out here and hurt someone else. If you are hurting, that gives you permission to sit your ass down and figure out why you are hurting. What? My mind, I'm just going to speak from my mind. My mind says if I am hurting, let me sit down, figure out why this hurts, how did it become to the point where it hurts, figure it all out, you know? But I see other people's minds, it's like, I'm hurt, so I'm just going to do this until I'm ready to go. I don't get it. I don't get the whole hurt people. So that's why I said in my video, like, that doesn't give you permission to go out here and hurt somebody else, because the next person that you are with did nothing to you. That's when, as an adult, you sit down and you say, okay, I have to heal. That's why people with rebound relationships, people be trying to talk to me. Oh yeah, are you? No. If you still kicking it, no. No rebounds. Sit down and heal. I talked about mental health. Emotions have to deal with them two hand in hand. Mental health, hand in hand. Like, if you get angry and the first thing your mind tells you to punch something, no. You have to connect anger with punching. Where did you get, I'm angry, so let me punch something? Like, what did you see? What did you experience? What do you know that tells you, okay, I'm angry, let me punch something? Or you get mad and you storm out. Like, where does that come from? Like, in my video, every video I ever post up, I always say it is important for you to use your words. That is the most powerful thing that you have been given. You ever remember growing up in school and somebody called you ugly or your mama fat or something like that? I'm not calling anybody mama fat or ugly or anything like that. And you was ready to box. You was ready to throw them hands because they called your mama ugly. How many of y'all mama really is ugly? Hey, if your mama ugly, she just ugly. But what was you fighting for? Like, somebody asked me a question, and I was like, if I feel like somebody is ugly and I call them ugly and then they want to fight me, okay, we gonna fight, we gonna box, I'm gonna win. And then if I still feel like you ugly and I call you ugly again, we gonna fight again? I can't, my brain can't comprehend these things. I really be trying, but I can't. Because for me, it's like, okay, like, I was angry. When the narrative was being created, I was angry. I wasn't angry at the narrative that was being created. I was angry at my ex for watching or sitting there while these things were being created and not saying anything. You know me. You've been with me for 6 years. You know my character. But you are allowing your girlfriend and the people around her to say things about me. So I was angry at her. And then I had to sit down as an adult and say, why are you angry? And I said, because I can't believe that she is allowing this to happen. She's allowing this. Like all of this happened because of her. I didn't do anything to her. I didn't do anything to them people. I don't even know them people. A bunch of them I don't know. A lot of them I do know. But a bunch of them I don't know. You going and riling up. I don't know, y'all. But I was angry at her because I felt like you and I had a personal connection. You and I was on a whole different level than everybody else that's involved in this situation. Not one time, since all of this has happened, has anyone around me, anyone that I talk to on a daily, because I'm not talking to her, I'm not talking about her in that manner. Yes, I'm telling y'all what happened, but I don't allow disrespect. I don't allow disrespect whether you're with me or you're not with me. I don't allow that. I don't tolerate disrespect at all on any level. At all. So for her to allow that around her, it hurt me. It hurt me and made me angry. And then once I processed it, was like, I was expecting her to do something that she was not capable of doing. We be expecting things of people, and we think, okay, because I'm going to talk about how I feel. I'm telling y'all, I tell y'all pretty much everything. I tell you how I feel. I tell you what I think. I tell you how I feel. I give you my opinion. I also give you a disclaimer before I say all of that stuff, just because I respect you. Many of you I've never met, probably won't ever meet. This will probably be the only time we conversing. But I respect you enough to say, hey, there's going to be some curse words in here. Hey, I'm going to talk about religion in a non-light way. That's just me. That's just who I am. I'm giving you that disclaimer. But when you expect other people to be like you are always going to be disappointed. I learned that the hard way. So that's where my anger was. That's where the disappointment, where I was like, I'm sad. I'm still a little sad because it's just like, damn, like I was rest of my life type of shit. And then it was like, nah, pandemic, nah, let me go back to comfort. But no, but I realized that my anger was a result of disappointment, was a result of because I thought better of her. So when you think about it, it all goes, there's a tie there. Like when I said I felt rejection, right? I felt rejected by my parents, my mother and my father. I felt like they had rejected me. Like at one point in time, y'all had to be cool because y'all got together and y'all made me 41 years ago yesterday. Anyways, but the relationship that I had with them after that, I just felt rejection. I didn't know it was rejection. I just knew that a part is that. You know, it's when you get that, it's right here. You don't know what it is, but it's like right here. Oh, you ever just like, oh, I just feel some kind of way. Like somebody say something slick, and you like, oh, did I hear that right? No. Wait, but that's what they said. No, you heard them right. And your body responds. So this is another thing that ties into emotions, right? As someone who has been molested, as someone who has grown, I'm 41. As I've grown, I've come to understand triggers. All of these are words that were applied to it, like when I went to therapy, and just understanding now. Like I understand a lot better. Like certain smells, certain places I just don't go, certain people I just don't talk to. It's not that I don't like them or anything like that. I just know me. I can't put myself in that situation. I don't want to go through that. You know, I told y'all, me and stressed, we don't get along. So I'm not going to put myself in an environment where, you know, I don't feel safe. Safety, security, happiness are my things right now. And I'm not like talking like, oh, I'm in a relationship that's going to make me happy, because I understand happiness comes from here. These two. I'm going to keep pointing these two because this is literally where everything is connected, and that's where everything comes from. Um, at this moment, on this day, at this time, I can say that I am the happiest I have ever been in my entire life. I have to give myself that moment because when you think like all the things like you have been through in your entire life, like even if you're not ready to go all the way back to your entire life, if you can just go look at June 27, 2020, right? And think about where you were and what you were doing, like where you were afraid, like where you filled with fear, like man, I could catch this and I could die, or like any one of my family members can catch this and they can die. Like it's the fear. Like you would think like I also say this in my videos, like um we have survived something that took out millions of people, that to this day is still taking people out, and we are surviving. We have breath in our body, like we have the ability to do whatever we want.